This one hits this thing. And now it comes down to one putt for the win. Is it his time?
Welcome to the Pitchmark Collective podcast. I'm Cam, and before I introduce my counterparts here, I need to say something. I need to get it off my chest. It was a mistake, and I owe an apology directly to you, our favorite listener. I'm assuming he listens, probably doesn't. Michael Kim. We had an interaction on Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter, earlier this morning, where I said a lot of truth. I said a lot of things I meant. But I made one mistake, and I said that you finished third. When indeed, Michael Kim, you were tied for second. I looked at my ESPN app, and I saw two names before yours, and I just said third place. So I hope you take this apology, Michael, and this embarrassment to heart, and you come on the podcast soon. With that being said, we got our counterparts here. We got TL2. We got Justin. Justin needs golf. Teddy thought the halftime show was good. I tend to agree with Teddy in this aspect, but, we are not 40 years old like our counterpart, Justin. So,
Damn,
with
age
that
shaming
being said,
already? Minute and a half into
said,
this, age shaming.
Justin, wait your turn. All right? You've had your time. We're going to pass it to Teddy. Give us your thoughts.
Well,
Kendrick Lamar in the halftime show.
Okay. First, before we address the halftime show, I just want to say I came across your interaction with Michael Kim, screenshotted it, sent it to our group chat, just because I thought it was so hilarious. I had a friend come over. We were watching the end of the Waste Management and watched Super Bowl. And the first time they showed Michael Kim, I was explaining to my buddy how good of a follow he is on X, formerly Twitter, because he's so kind and insightful and shares all of these bits of information just for like the life of a tour pro. And this morning, I'm excited. I'm on X. I see that he is going over like a recap of his weekend. Can't wait to read it. What wonderful bits of information is he going to share? And then I see like a nasty reply from him. And I'm just so caught off guard because I'm like, this isn't Michael Kim. I've been following you for years. I've never seen you get this worked up. And I glance up to see who he's replying to, and it's none other than our fellow co-host, Cam.
Hey, Ted, I think you're overstating how you used the word nasty there, and I'm like, I don't know if it was nasty. I think it was like a in jest kind of fun thing. Because what I said was I had a lot of fun watching this past weekend. Incredible 63 on Friday, and then just followed up with great rounds Saturday, Sunday. And I said, now that I've buttered you up, Michael, would you like to come on the podcast and talk about it? And his response was, well, actually, I finished. Well, I said you finished third place. And he goes, well, actually, I finished tied for second, so you didn't butter me up correctly. So the answer is no. So he shot me down. But as we say in sales, shoot or shoot. So
in his response,
took a shot.
You could insert. Sorry for our younger listeners, but you could insert asshole like 3 different spots on his response where he would have put that if he was that type of guy, but he's not. So he was very kind in letting you know how badly you messed up. But deep down, you could see where he wanted to throw in a couple expletives.
I read his response to me, and instantly in my head came Alan from The Hangover, where he goes, "I fudged up, guys. Fudged up."
So yeah,
that being
was great.
said, Michael Kim, accept my apology, please.
Yes, I tried to save the interaction. It didn't work.
He had moved on by that point, I think.
Yeah,
he said that we're never doing this.
So yeah, that's done. What other tour pros can we piss off, Cam?
Listen, I could be an Anthony Kim DM. He's responded to a couple of my messages.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe we get him on the pod, talk golf, talk live. Doubt it.
Maybe talk other stuff.
Talk other stuff. where he's been the last 12 years, so things like that.
Girl
But
dads
that
and
being
stuff.
said, I'd rather hear your take, Teddy, on the halftime show, and then
I
we
thought
can
it was
pass
great.
it to Justin for his boomer take.
Yeah, no, I thought it was great. I thought Kendrick was great. He played the hits. He had that little teaser where everybody kept waiting for Not Like Us, and he just kept putting it off, and then ended with that. But yeah, no, I thought it was great. SZA was great. Samuel L. Jackson was great. I liked how there wasn't just a lot of like, I don't know the proper word, but like there wasn't a lot of fluff in like the set.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty straightforward. He used the whole set. He used most of the field, and he's a good live performer. So yeah, that was good. I like Kendrick Lamar, so I liked all the songs he played.
I tend to agree with you, Teddy. I've listened to Kendrick since probably early 20s when he like was getting big into his stardom. You know, Section 80, Good Kid, Mad City, those first two albums
Yeah.
that really kind of set him off. I would have liked to hear maybe one song from Good Kid, Mad City, but
Sure.
I get it. You got to play like the new stuff. He just released an album, and a lot of that was
he's got so many Grammy-winning songs. Like you can't just put it in a halftime show.
Yeah, I was honestly thinking, I'm like, he should have did like, if the beat drop to Money Trees would have happened or something, I'd have went nuts in my basement. You know, it would have brought me back to like 22. So, all right, Justin.
Justin, you were spewing some hate tweets during the halftime show. What all?
I mean, I'm a somewhat of a fan, I guess. I like the music. There's a couple songs that I enjoy, but I mean, everyone knows I'm not a music person anyways, but I just thought it was kind of boring. I don't know. Like for a Super Bowl show. That's it. Like I guess I just expect more like from multiple artists and things going on and stuff, but I mean, I guess the simplicity of it was cool. I mean, I can kind of agree with that. Like I thought the dancers were awesome. Like how they did the flag and then they were like all in unison. Like that was badass. That was
cool.
Probably the coolest part. Like I didn't think it was horrible. I didn't think it was good though. Like I wasn't super pumped on it. Oh,
Cam?
I'm not a boomer dickhead. So there.
Yeah, I would just more so say like the people who are saying they didn't like it, like they fit, you know, a group of people, and it makes sense why they don't like it. But I thought it was good overall. I mean, it was good. I was shocked at the actual game, how it played out. Like I wasn't expecting Philly.
Yes.
Like I expected more from Pat Mahomes.
What happened to Kansas City? Like from the very beginning, they did not have their mojo. They didn't ever get it. Like
Andy Reid got out coached. The front line for Kansas City just got dominated the entire game by the defensive line of Philly. They didn't blitz once, but they still sacked Patrick Mahomes like 4 times, 5 times.
The Eagles defense just was on fire.
Shout out to Cooper DeJean. He got a pick 6 at the Super Bowl on his birthday as a rookie. It was his and Saquon's birthday. Saquon didn't have the best game, but he don't care. He's out of New York. You know, he's not on the Giants, and he just won a Super Bowl. So he's living life right now.
I think he's happy for how it ended.
And some people like to label Jalen Hurts as, you know, a running back, but it's like, I mean, not really. It's a tool, right? It's an asset of his legs and being able to get out of the pocket. But I mean, he just wins football games and he just won a Super Bowl. Like
without Saquon, they're not getting to the Super Bowl. So he played a huge part in that regular season getting to that point, even though he didn't have a huge role.
I mean, technically, they have made it to a Super Bowl without Saquon.
Yeah, but not this year. That's all I'm saying. Like,
you don't think they're making the Super Bowl without Saquon?
No.
Even though they've done it before.
Even though they've done it. Saquon was huge this year. Look at his yardage.
I'm trolling, Justin.
I hate you so much.
Anyways, Eagles are the Super Bowl champs. Tom Brady was up in his booth just loving it, I bet, on the inside of like, yeah, kid, you can't touch me.
I think secretly he was happy with how it was playing out.
Yeah,
because he's never had a game like that in the 3 that he lost. That's never happened.
Did you guys get to the point though where you were like actually rooting for Patrick Mahomes. Like
Well,
like we had 5 minutes left in halftime, and I was just like, "Come on, man! Like do something! Like
when he
make
when he
this a
threw that
game."
deep ball for a touchdown, like their first play of the drive, I'm like, if they have their timeout still, this is still like a game. Like I somehow talked myself into that, but they didn't have their timeout, so they did the whole kneel down and it was over. I wouldn't say I was like I just wanted like I want touchdowns. I'm not a
yeah.
huge defense guy. Like I get it, but like when Cooper DeJean picks it, like I was yelling in my basement. I'm like Cooper, because it was just an awesome play, and that's kind of what I was looking for in this game. Is just good plays, good football. And I think it delivered for the most part. It was just shocking to see how bad the offense was for KC.
The excitement wasn't the actual like offense going back and forth. The excitement was just the fact that Philadelphia Eagles look so good.
Yeah,
Yeah, dominant. They just look dominant.
Like it was just crazy to watch Patrick Mahomes get shut down time and time again and go 3 and
well,
out.
they had like
3 and out,
23
3 and out.
offensive yards at halftime.
He had
It was
22 passing yards at halftime.
Yeah, the running game
That's
was non-existent. Which I mean, the entire season their offense hasn't been great. They only scored over 30 points once, but their defense has kept them, in games and then also closing them out. So Eagles won. Some say it's the worst fan base in sports. Tend to agree with that because Philly's just got like viral videos of fans being POSs, and it doesn't help their cause. But looking past that, it was a good game.
Every team has a small amount. I think their fan base just has a larger percentage.
Yeah, we're gonna transition right here, and I'm gonna say something. I told it was in my group chat of people who don't necessarily golf. Some do. One does. And I said, the most athletic thing, the best athletic performance that happened today wasn't the Super Bowl. It was Thomas Dietrich birdieing the 4 last holes on Championship Sunday to just win by 7 at the Waste Management.
Waste Management had similar vibes to the Super Bowl. You were waiting and just like hoping the entire time that KC was going to get started. You were like, okay, Jordan Spieth's going to do this. We're going.
Yeah, and I didn't have
Oh
Daniel
no, that's a
Berger.
left-handed putter out of the woods. Oh, that's okay. Here we go.
Easy par.
Come on, we can do this. And then Thomas Dietrich just like ice down.
Yep.
I mean, dude, down that stretch, that last 9 holes, I was like, okay, here it comes. He's gonna get to 16, and I was talking to my buddy going for it. We went over and watched Saturday from his sim, and I was like, 15, 16, 17, and 18 can be the most exciting holes in golf. Just because the finishing hole, I mean, 16, you're going to the stadium, and I can't imagine having all those people heckling you as the leader. And he just hits one stiff. Like at that point, you're like, yep, this tournament's over. Shit. And then he hits a perfect 3-wood on 17, and on 18, he hits a perfect drive. I was like, dude, that is ice in his veins right there.
15 doesn't get enough credit, I don't think, for being an awesome golf hole.
Risk reward par 5.
Mm-hmm.
It screwed some people up this week.
Well, and like where the pin was on Sunday, it was just tough. Like it was right over that little shelf, and from where they're at, they know it's just on the other side of like a little crest right on top of the shelf. It's over that bunker. If you go middle or too far left, it's running further away. And like that bunker shot on the left is terrible. Bunker shot short and right, you're not going to be able to get anywhere close to the hole. So it was just awful. I kept talking myself into like every possibly bad shot that Dietrich hit. I was like, okay, all right,
here
this
starts.
one will just like he was it was one of the holes on the front nine. Off the tee, he was left like by one of the little wispy trees, and he had that abbreviated follow through. He had to hit it through like 2 of the other wispy trees, like 30 yards in front. And I was like, okay, all right, this one,
here it comes.
Here it comes, and he hits it to like 20, 25 feet, pin high, the middle of the green.
Putt par, yeah.
Cool. Okay. And then yeah, same thing on like 15. Before he hit his tee shot, it was like, all right, if he gets this out to the right, has a tough shot, and then he just stripes it. Okay, cool. Then he hits it front of the green, right in the heart on the second shot. Sweet. 16 hits it to a foot. Okay, cool. Maybe 17. Maybe he overcooks it, takes a weird bounce, goes in the water, goes left. Nope. Right in front of the green.
Mm-hmm.
Going to be an easy chip. All right. Well, this is over. So yeah, that was unfortunate. And I kept waiting for like, obviously Spieth just kind of ran on steam. Berger, I was kind of hoping, and then he just, I think 16 really killed his
16 hit him
chances.
in. Yeah, when
Yeah,
you go
'cause
over
he
the
was-
green like that.
He was right there, and then it just you couldn't really spin it unless you hit it higher, and he doesn't hit it very high, so it was game over after that.
I mean, if it was like a 2-stroke lead going into Sunday, I think there would have been some fireworks. But the fact that he had 5 strokes going into Sunday and kind of kept it, I mean, he really didn't. All those shots where you thought he was going to lose some ground, he never lost ground.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan started to scare him. I mean, Michael Kim, by the way, was like one of the coolest and collective guys out there on the course. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is one of his top finishes.
Mm-hmm.
And he is just like got the shades on, looks classy. Like, it was actually fun to watch him just be super smooth the entire time. But JT started chasing him. Then you got Bobby Mack, which, I mean, as a lefty, I was like rooting for Bobby Mack. I'm like, yeah, he could go low right here. I think I saw something where they said that Scotty was the favored going into Sunday, even though he was 6 back.
Yeah, it was like 4 or 5 back. Yeah.
Scotty was going good
Michael
until
Kim only made 1 bogey this
yeah,
tournament.
all weekend. Scotty up until like 9 when he missed that like 2-footer for birdie. He hit like a wedge or something close, like right behind the pin. Had a little 2-footer for birdie. It was a little slider, and he just kind of can't remember if he yanked it or not. But it just after that, I was like, yeah, this isn't going to end well for us.
I didn't have Scotty going 31-41 on Sunday.
31, yeah.
He looked. Yeah, 31. Yeah,
31
I
in the
thought
front,
31 is
Yeah.
super doable. But yeah, the wheels came off and he showed a little flare. Justin caught that, and I think it was Saturday, right, where he just hammered his bag with his club, and people want to see that. People want to see the greatest.
He was a little spicy like all weekend. Like, he didn't look very happy, if that makes sense. Like, he looked kind of pissed. I mean, even when he had that, what was it, Friday? Yeah, it was Friday. Was it Friday or Saturday? He holed out from the bunker on that. Was it on the back 9?
Yeah, I think it was Friday.
And he didn't even watch it land. He was just like, yeah, whatever. Like, he was just, it wasn't like because Scotty's never like high, but he's never low. He was like in a kind of a weird spot. I don't know. I thought it was really interesting to watch him all weekend, and you thought he was going to make a push, and then just never did anything. I mean, ended up 9 under for the entire tournament, but
he did make a push. He went 44 under on the front on Sunday. Like,
yeah,
people were like, "Oh, he's going to chase him down somehow," and then he just imploded on the back.
Yeah, that is great. I didn't even notice that he actually shot a 41 on the back on Sunday. I remember being on.
Stopped showing him.
I remember being Scotty Watch on the front, seeing a 31. I was like, oh yeah, but yeah, we can bogey, par, bogey, par, double. Like,
he doubled 18.
He doubled 18.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was brutal.
Huh. Yep. Watching on Friday, watching Luke Clanton need that putt to get that point, in the PGAU accelerated program. It was a battle. It was enjoyable to watch. Like, he's obviously going to get it. Like, there's just no way he doesn't. And I just got to wait a little longer. But that
I
was
was so
that was an
invested at
enjoyable
that point.
storyline watching him.
Yeah, like I was in it. I loved watching that on Friday. I was watching his entire back nine. The thing that sucks is he played that
Mhm.
back nine so well, but the front nine is where he gave it all up.
Yep.
I mean, round one coming out shooting a 74, shooting a 67 was awesome, but I mean, and I can't say he really gave it up because he went 34-33. He just had a bogey on hole 4, which gave a shot up, which was right there, but he also had a bogey on hole 10 on round 2. It was round 1 that kind of screwed him over. But can you imagine the pressure coming out of there and like people? I mean, that was a major headline for this tournament at that point. I mean, it was all over the PGA Tour website. People were tweeting stuff about it. I mean, you're a college kid, which granted, a college kid who has played in lots of big tournaments, but this is like for your livelihood, you know, not just like, oh yeah, I get to come out and smoke some kids.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, you can't shoot 3 over par 2 on round 1. Like this, you're in a fairly deep hole, especially at a tournament where 24 under is going to be the winning score, right? So, but he had an eagle putt, a very makeable eagle putt. I think it was on 13, where like if he makes that, it's game over, right? He's going to make the cut, par out, but he only made birdie. So,
But that was the one that
very
was like
enjoyable to watch.
half a ball rotation and it would have gone in.
Yep.
It
Yep.
was crazy just
Yeah.
sitting there watching it like, okay, come on, go. Go. But
It's only a
showed
matter
up.
of time for him. Yeah. Only a matter of time. And that place would have went nuts too, because I think a lot of people knew what was at stake for him with him making that putt. We learned a little bit about Teddy and his relationship with Daniel Berger. You want to expound? You want to expand on that for us, Teddy?
Well,
Your
I mean,
experience with Daniel Berger.
I just want to say, I'm happy for him. I wish him all the success. It's wild to me how like he could never break 80 in junior golf. Got okay, went to FSU, got really good, and is like a premier PGA Tour player. He's been injured the last few years, obviously, but before that, he's one of the main young Americans. So yeah, I mean, it was cool to see him make a charge, but the whole time I was like, how long is this gonna last, right? Probably gonna blow it.
He didn't really
And
blow
yeah,
it.
then he made bogey
He
on
just
16.
kind of
He made
simmered
bogey
down.
on 16, Cam. He made bogey on 16. That killed his chances.
But it didn't matter because
Yeah, but at the time you don't know that. At the time you
I
don't know
agree.
that Dietrich is about to just go nuclear and birdie everything coming in.
Point conceded.
But yeah, no, his swing looks better.
it.
I'll say his swing looks much better. It's not as like abrupt.
I wasn't
Underplaying. So yeah, it looks good.
Mhm.
That's all.
Jealousy's a
Yeah,
tough
he's
one, man.
definitely got the weird kind of
Yeah. That low peeler cut. I mean, it works.
It's like Sergio. I mean,
So,
it just looks like Daniel Berger just watched Sergio videos growing up.
it's Sergio, but he does it early. He sets it early on the way up. Yeah.
I don't know how you hit a cut with that strong of a grip. Like it's really interesting to see how he sets up to the ball.
The lower, everything else is so far out of it already that like by the time the hands do catch up, it's already like right after impact. So it's just low and cutty. But whatever. Props to him. Good job. How much money did he make? That's cool.
He was not on my like bingo board of like people to be in like contention, going into the Sunday.
Agreed.
They played well. I mean, him and Spieth are kind of making their returns right at the same time. Whereas Berger, it's been a longer kind of injury prone, or not injury prone, but injury, healing. Jordan had surgery about 6 months ago, didn't necessarily show up at Pebble Beach, but comes out this weekend firing. JT had a nice showing with that nice hole out too on 18 to.
That was sick.
So
dude.
on Sunday there was two rounds of 65, Dietrich and JT. So I think Tyler was right. I think
for Spieth, every time they would cut to him, they'd cut to him right when he would start his like takeaway rehearsal.
Yeah, his rehearsal.
And like, but it's so abrupt that you think he's about to hit it, and you're just like, holy shit, he's about to. And then he like reset and then swing. But every time, it got me every single time they showed him on TV. I was like, oh my god, he swings like that. Oh, that's his rehearsal. Okay, and then he hit.
This is kind of interesting. Not to put salt in your wound.
Yeah.
Not to put salt in your wound here, Teddy, but
he's got a supermodel girlfriend. Cool. Oh, he's made like $30 million and has yachts.
But
yeah,
he's got a super awesome boat. Oh, sick, dude.
Yeah, he actually, they did talk about his boats and how sick his boats were. But
yeah,
he's got 4 career wins and $26 million in official money. I didn't know Berger was that successful pre his back issues.
Yeah, he crashed his Beamer on his way to a junior tournament one time. That was cool. We're on the putting green warming up. We're like, dude, we tee off in like 5 minutes. He's like, oh yeah, I got in a crash. I hit some guy. We're like, what the fuck? Why are you here right now? Yeah, yeah. Did you guys get those speed bumps on your way here on the interstate? Those weren't speed bumps, Daniel. That was a person.
That was a person. That's hilarious. Yeah,
you know, having 25 top 5 finishes will add money to your bank account pretty quickly.
Yes. And that's pre-elevated events. So
right.
Once he starts getting into those, I mean, he's healthy. So yeah, he's gonna be stacking some coin. I'll DM him. I'll get him on the pod since Michael Kim's definitely not. I'll reach out to Daniel. Hey, DB straight vibing.
Very good apology.
Let's come out and be on this podcast.
I do kind of like his Instagram handle, DB straight vibing. I like it.
Yeah,
he's just a chill guy who had back problems. You know?
I'm just a chill guy. So what if I killed somebody when I was 17 in a car? It's no big deal. Still shot 80 that day.
I'm pretty sure that after this little rant, we have a better chance of getting Michael Kim on the podcast than Daniel Berger.
Yeah, probably. That's fine.
But
you know, we got to shoot our shot with everybody, guys. So, I thought, Waste Management, it delivered pretty much like it always does. Did not have Thomas Dietrich, like I said, just going nuclear on those last 4 holes to get a 7-stroke win. But Justin, you pointed out his money too, just really joining the tour last year. He's almost at $10 million of official winnings.
I mean, just what, a year and a half basically at this point, and like already at $10 million in earnings. Like he's got some tournaments under his belt.
Mm-hmm.
I still think it's amazing. I swear I picked him several times last year. I don't know.
When you said that, Teddy, I'm like, I think that's right. Like, I think Teddy's truthful.
Right? So
I went through our entire, like, everything that we've ever picked, and there is not a single one of you actually picking it, Teddy.
I mean, you also messed up the points. So, I mean, who's to say,
Yeah.
Yep. True.
I do remember you actually
saying, point.
I do remember you actually talking about him last year and thinking you were going to pick him, but then you would take someone else. So
maybe that's what it was. And then I ended up putting some money on Dietrich myself. That's probably what it was.
I could see that happening. So, I mean, what were the thoughts on Waste Management? I think Waste Management last year was a little excessive, got out of hand, got in the news for bad things. Thunderbirds obviously cleaned some stuff up this year. I thought it was great. I mean, I thought there was still a rowdiness level to it, but it wasn't like over the top. What do you guys think?
I think it's the good thing about it. I think it's tough to compare it to last year only because the Super Bowl was in town at the same time. Mm-hmm. So like it's gonna be the shittiest of shit shows you can imagine. It's already the Wasted Management and the Super Bowl's in town. So yeah, there's no way it's going to be like that ever again unless the Super Bowl is also there. But I thought it was good. I love that tournament. I love the course setup. there's, 18 good golf holes out there, and aesthetically, I think it looks great with some of the dormant rough.
I
and then
love
the
that
overseas.
contrast with the
Yeah,
green and
looks great.
it's awesome.
And then those last, 4 holes, I think set up for a really good finish. It sucks. Dietrich was just so much better than everybody else on Sunday, but there was a glimmer of hope when everybody teed up on Sunday.
Yeah,
Cam,
we've had
sorry for that.
two really good weeks in a row of, and obviously Dietrich running her through 4 birdies at the end to win by 7. But we had some really good golf at Pebble, I thought. And now we've had some
Mhm.
really good golf into Waste Management. I didn't think it was boring at all.
No,
Like Dietrich winning by 7, yeah, you would look at it and you'd be like, oh, it snooze fest. But there was people that were coming to the top of the leaderboard, peeking their heads, coming within 3, then falling back all Saturday and Sunday. I thought it was actually super fun to watch. Like it was captivating to be there. The one person I would say that went ice cold was Cam's pick. Cam, you were so high on Tom Kim coming in.
I felt
You
so
were
good about
so
it. And
stoked sending that chat. Look who picked Tom Kim.
I was. I jinxed him. I'm sorry, Tom. I'm apologizing to all the Kims today. Michael, I'm sorry. Tom, I'm sorry. I jinxed you, Tom.
Miss
Yeah.
Kardashian, please call me back.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall the tournament is always great. The course is awesome. There's probably, like Teddy said, not a bad golf hole out there, and then that finishing 4, just an awesome stretch. The whole back nine's awesome. I think the back nine's better than the front 9. And with the vibes of it, right? The Super Bowl was in town last year, and they obviously learned, we got to figure it out. I think they probably had more police presence around the 16th hole, dedicated more resources over there. And you didn't really see it, everything's always just multiplied on social media, right? Like you may see the same thing 14 different times throughout the week, and there just wasn't much of that. It was more tailored towards the actual golf rather than the shenanigans. So be interesting to see the arrest and the kick out numbers when they're finalized. But yeah, overall it was a great tournament. University of Illinois alumni Thomas Dietrich took it down for his first win. I texted in the group chat. I said, this seems like it could be, because he's been close in tournaments. He has a few runner-ups, a few top 5s, and he's just never been able to make that Sunday close. It could be like a floodgate situation where he maybe takes down another tournament or two, because that's considered floodgates right at this point, winning more than one time on the tour in a season. Could be something like that, and could be I think he's like 31, 32, so we'll call it a late rise for his career. But, he also earned $10 million already on the PGA Tour, so is that a late rise? I don't know.
Seems like a pretty successful career to me.
I haven't made $10 million in software sales yet, so.
Yeah.
Got to pump those numbers up, dude.
I'm going to be working on that for a while.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Especially when you're making picks like this. You didn't get any points this week, Cam.
I'm down bad. It's a bad start. But I think we're going to make up for it on the Genesis here coming up. So,
well, what's unfortunate is I feel like you started hot last year, and then you kind of faltered midway, but you did decent enough at the beginning to where you still came in second. So it's just still continuing this trend for several months now of cold picks.
You know what really helped me last year was I picked a few actual outright winners.
Yeah, and you got double
where we
points.
get more points.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we haven't even came close to an outright winner this year.
No, we have not.
Which our picks have been kind of sad, considering I got the closest, and it was Scotty, which for a while there we were thinking, it's going to be up there. And gosh, what did he actually end the tournament at? 9th, 10th?
No.
20th?
He was out of the top 10.
Because he was at 9 under, right?
Yeah, The picks.
Yes, T25.
And then you had Sam Burns from Teddy, who didn't even show up all tournament. Like, he was
Cool.
done. Tom Kim obviously fell. And then our dark horses, I was paying attention to the dark horses.
I forgot about the dark horses.
Cam's Clanton obviously didn't make the cut. Glover didn't even come close to the cut. He was so far away. And Billy, I mean, he played some okay golf, but didn't even come close to
Not
hitting
good.
the top. My DFL actually, like Ryan Palmer, I was like, oh crap, he is right below Scotty this entire time, and he didn't completely fall apart until Sunday. Sunday, he just shit the bed. Now he finished at +10 after making the cut. Yeah, he took a huge backwards roll. And then obviously, Teddy, you picked out Fisk, so
that helped.
That got you a point for that.
Picking a guy you've never heard of is usually a good strategy.
Yeah, that's true. And also, I got the cut line, so
Yep,
pretty good. 2 points for myself.
There is a good. It's huge when you can pick first, especially I think with the cut line.
Yes, agreed.
So there was actually some other golf that happened this weekend too, and I was trying to pay attention to it. We talked about it last week about LIV being at night, being over in Riyadh, right? That's how I think we pronounced
Saudi
it
Arabia.
all wrong last week.
I think it's
But Riyadh, that's it. So they were on FS1, and I thought it was kind of cool to wake up 7 a.m. You got golf on. Still kind of a weird vibe to me. I hate that you can actually hear just the soft music in the background. Like, I don't understand why they have to even like share that with everyone that's watching. But the at night, watching a golf ball fly at night is awesome. I love. Did you guys watch it at all?
Mm-hmm.
I did not. I don't have FS1.
Very briefly for a few minutes on the first round or the second round. Yeah, first round. I was just more invested in the waste management. And I wasn't necessarily like impressed with watching Adrian Moronk win. That guy just doesn't do it for me. I did watch Dustin Johnson hit a mammoth drive on like one of the drivable par fours to like 8 feet. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And I just started watching the waste management. I think I'm just so used to like the PGA Tour. Like it's a long game when it comes to like getting people who are committed to one to start watching the other, right? And I didn't even know it was going until like the 2 days before it started, right? Like it's just not on the radar.
Apparently no one did, because he only had 12,000 viewers on the final round at FS1.
That's wild.
And just for comparison's sake, I heard this: 3.1 million viewers the final round at Pebble Beach last week.
I mean, it helps with Rory and stuff, I will say that, but 12,000 viewers is insane.
That's
especially
from the
when
Sports Business Journal too. It's not like Justin just made that number up.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Hand up, we may do time to time.
Yeah. This was actually trying to be factual for once, but
like I feel like they got the same amount of viewers as like a Youngstown State Tuesday night basketball game against like Weber State or something.
Right.
Like, that's insane.
This is my problem with LIV right now, is that you've got these high paid players, right? There's a handful of guys who made a lot of money on this.
Yeah.
You've got none of them
$500 million.
And you've got like, I can only imagine the pitch for LIV was, we're going to get the top 20 players, and then every week the top 20 players are just going to go at it, and it's going to be a battle, and you're going to watch these guys, and it's going to be a limited field, so it's going to be more exciting. And you've got DJ who just like, I don't know, decides to start practicing in maybe the end of January for a tournament at the beginning of February. I know that's not true, but that's how it feels. And all these other players, and the only top name and I shouldn't say the only top name, but John Rahm tied for second. But then like Sebastian Munoz, no one even cared when he was on the PGA Tour. Dean Burmeister, yeah, okay. Lucas
Who?
Herbert, he had some flair to him playing at like the Arnold Palmer, stuff like that. I would love to see Sergio play well, but he's just kind of hanging out there in his Ronald McDonald outfit. Then you got Mark Leishman, okay. Bryson in his big ass puffy coat. One of the players I hate watching more than anyone is Tyrell Hatton. For whatever reason, that guy, I just cannot stand watching him.
It's
But like they're
Tyrrell.
not Tyrrell, yeah, all
Tyrrell.
day. So
You
I
gotta
just
say it
don't.
European.
Okay,
Unbelievable.
cool. But they just they're not battling back and forth. So I think with like what they pictured happening is not happening. So how long does that go on for?
I mean, it can go on for as long as they want. Obviously, they have the funds and the money. If they do stop, it's not because a lack of funds or money. It's just they're tired and bored of it, and they're gonna look.
It's on to the next thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't care.
No. But I agree. I think that was the initial thought was, hey, let's just buy the best players, and everybody just wants to watch them every week or every tournament. So
yeah,
we'll just have all the best players. But that's not how it's worked out.
They've also made some changes this year that I think make it a little bit more interesting, but it didn't do anything for me. All four scores have to count now. So on Friday, Saturday, and then on Sunday it's 3 out of 4. So I mean, they have made some changes that could kind of make it that way, but it didn't turn out in Riyadh.
There are 4 golfers on LIV Golf that people would like to watch. 4. Brooks Koepka. I'm going to go backwards. Brooks Koepka, Cam Smith, John Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau. That list has shrunk from last year. Nobody cares about Phil. They'd rather watch him on YouTube. Dustin Johnson's not really doing anything. He's not moving anybody's needle, right? I just think like you guys said, it is a complete flop at this point when it comes to getting the players they thought they were going to be able to get.
Yeah.
Well, it's just wild, like the drop from like Phil and when things were good and he was playing in like PGA Tour events. People would go to see him, and it was exciting. But now, like, think of if Tiger's in the field or if Phil's in the field, like today. Like Tiger still has 10 times the draw that anybody else could ever even imagine.
Yep.
Just the fact that he was in the field for the Genesis. Now he's not. We'll get to that. But I mean, there was so much excitement. Like Tiger's back. Tiger's going to play this week. Got to get tickets. Got to see him.
I literally announced to my family, I said, Tiger Woods plays golf next week. That changes things. Yeah. And just as fast as he was in, he's out. R.I.P. to Mama Woods.
Who, friend of the pod, Matt Gesner, has met plenty of times.
Yes, several times.
And she was nice every time.
Nice every time. I'd be interested to know where Matt Gesner met Mrs. Woods. Anyways, we're off track now. But,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like from a viewer perspective, a golf fan's perspective, that LIV had a lot of momentum, right? When it comes to fanhood, social media, just people who like golf talking about it. People are like, yeah, LIV's not bad. LIV seems to be all right. To now it's where like, you guys kind of suck. Like, you need a deal done more than the PGA Tour needs a deal done to be successful.
I think that way.
Yeah.
I don't see how a merge even works at this point.
Nah, who knows? That's coming next year, supposedly. But like,
we're going to say it's coming next year for the next 10 years.
Yeah, I know. If I'm LIV, I would almost focus solely on YouTube and just keep those okay, they have 4 of the really good players that you want to watch, but best 10 or 20, just do YouTube content. Just do YouTube content and grind that out. You don't even have to grind it. You can literally do Bryson versus John Rahm. You can do
Okay.
Cam.
Does it change though? The RNA is now allowing. They released that statement where they're actually going to allow the top player from LIV, top ranked players that didn't
No.
qualify, into
It's not
the Open.
It's not going to change anything.
So let's say that they all follow
most
suit, all the
most of
majors.
them were already qualifying.
It's just Taylor Gooch.
Taylor
It gets
Gooch.
him in, I guess, because he's the best player. That's really it.
He's the best iron player that we've ever seen. Yeah.
Yes.
I think we, jokes aside, I think we're probably relatively close to a deal than we have been, over the last few years. But what does that even look like? Is it just they
I don't
say,
even
yeah,
care.
you have a way back to play more tournaments if you want to, but like that was the draw. That was the draw for these players. Like, I don't want to play as much golf and still make a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Right.
I
So
think that's why they eliminate, or they didn't eliminate, sorry, but they took the fields down to 100 versus the 125. They're eliminating the Monday qualifiers because I think they're going to have to allow some of these LIV players back in, and that's their way.
why? Nobody cares if Sebastian Munoz is playing in a PGA Tour.
I 100% agree, but
maybe his family and like wherever he comes from. Is he Mexican? Is he
I
South
believe
American?
I've already been called racist once today. I'm not getting off.
I was just saying, like, the country he hails from is probably the only like people who care. Like, let's just call it what it is.
Fact. Yeah.
Nobody cares. I would care if Bryson like was in more tournaments that I want to watch. Cam Young or Cam Smith, Brooks. I don't even like Brooks that much. Brooks and John Rahm. Like, those are literally the only 4 people. I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool if they could like
Munoz
figure it out
Colombian,
for
by the way.
those 4 people. So he's South American. Okay, sorry, Sebastian. Third apology.
And you know what? I want to see Brooks. I want to see Brooks in a tournament, come down the stretch, not smiling to anyone, and just be the smuggest bastard on the course. I love it. I think that
Justin,
attitude
what you need
is
to before
hilarious.
you start making demands, okay?
Yeah.
I think Brooks being involved in what most golfers watch, which is the PGA Tour, would be a good thing.
Yep.
Maybe Phil. I'll add a 5th, and it'll be Phil, just because he's kind of made a resurgence. Maybe.
I don't think
not in competitive golf. Yeah, he's good on YouTube, but
I don't think he
he's
has
just taking a roster
golf in
spot
him anymore.
Was his
Gotten to
last
that
PGA Tour win the PGA
The
at Gila?
PGA. Yeah.
What a way to go out,
Yeah.
I guess.
Agreed.
All right.
We've 51.
We've talked a lot about LIV. I mean, it just doesn't seem like the opener Fox probably wanted. The opener LIV wanted. I mean, 12,000 viewers on Thursday or Friday morning. I was watching golf Friday morning. Wasn't Saudi Arabian golf.
Yeah. I mean, I was watching it, so I was one of 12,000, but
there were more people playing Call of Duty at that time than were watching.
That's probably true for a lot of sports, Teddy. Come on.
There were more people playing Rocket League at 7 a.m. Friday.
Yeah.
That's better.
All right, so let's get back on to PGA Tour here. We actually have a 3rd signature event of the year. We're going big money, big money, big money. Genesis Open, rescheduled to Torrey Pines.
Cool.
With a bunch of sponsors exemption. One obviously being Tiger being invited, but
is 5 a bunch now?
I don't honestly, I don't know. Is it?
No.
Not really. The way I see it, the sponsors pay boatloads of cash, right, to help these events. Like if they want a guy in, let them put a guy in. Like he's a pro golfer. It's not like he put me in.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Like,
Jordan
Jordan
Spieth has
Spieth draws
gotten,
crowds. People want to watch Jordan Spieth hit a golf ball,
and I could
especially
see
after this week.
AT&T at Pebble Beach. Like, hell yeah, his bag is AT&T. He's making it around the
Yeah.
entire property for 4 rounds. So,
But
we've
like
got,
with Webb Simpson getting all the sponsor exemptions like he was
yeah,
getting and all that, like okay, like let's
that's the
simmer
thing
down
where
on
I
Webb
think we
Simpson.
lost it last year with the
Take
sponsor
your club
exemption.
brush, get back in the car, get out.
Go Monday qualify like the rest of us.
Like the rest of us, like the rest of them, I would probably say.
Hey,
Just
hey, we're
see.
golfers. All right, we're
Cam could
golfers.
try to Monday qualify. That's why
Did
they have
you?
Monday qualifiers.
There's
Good,
fairways I
Three
wouldn't be able to read.
qualifiers, then they have the Monday qualifier, then you play in the tournament.
Except
And
they
I know
eliminated Monday qualifiers.
For all of
not
them or
for
just for the
every,
waste management? That was
just
just
the
the
waste
waste
Just
management.
for the
management.
waste management.
Let me say something about Cam possibly Monday qualifying. There's going to be 8 fairways at least that I'm not reaching. You should
Yeah.
see just even in like the U.S. Open qualifiers that I'll caddy for. I'm like, there's no shot.
Yeah.
You're barely making it, guys, and you guys are good. And there's a 20-mile-an-hour wind gust in our face. That might end
Yeah.
up behind me.
Cam, you're
You're
not
going-
even saying like you're not hitting the fairway on one side or another. You're just not making it from the back tee boxes.
I am literally not
to the-
carrying it far enough to the fairway.
If
I
there's
hit
a
it on a
walking
dead
path
rope,
that's mowed, you could try to hit that. Just aim for the walking path.
there's one hole. I think it's the 4th hole at Collindale up in Fort Collins, and with the wind that they had the last time we were there, I looked at Eddie. I'm like, "There's no way I'd make this. You made it by 20 yards off to the right. No shot. With my little,
Mhm.
it's ending up going backwards at some point.
Whatever that ball does.
That being
at some
said,
point.
The Monday Qs are cool. Chandler, he's local. I'm pretty sure he's a member at TPC Scottsdale. He Monday Q'd and I think he beat Scotty, didn't he?
Yeah.
He beat a lot of players, which is huge for him. I mean, that Monday Q is so cool because it just opens up a door for whoever qualifies to completely change their next few years of their life.
I saw something on maybe it was Twitter. No, it was Instagram. I was scrolling through Instagram and someone had posted about the PGA Tour and they're like, screw like the signature events, screw all this stuff. Like entertainment would be following some of these Monday qualifiers on like what their journey is.
Mhm.
You know, like I mean, it's 1 out of 100 are actually going to find some success out of it, but you get that 1 out of 100 story where you get to, Netflix them and watch how they're living on the road and do everything, and then all of a sudden they find some success and they get some stardom out of this. Like that would be awesome. That would be way better than any of these other storylines we talk about.
I mean, a lot of these guys
full
started
full
off
swing.
hustling Monday qualifiers.
Yeah, Full Swing has a opportunity to where they could do not like a spinoff, but it's like Full Swing, the road to your tour card, whatever marketing title they want to come up with. And it's literally just following like 8 guys or something, for a season. Rather than showing us, Rory and Jordan and Ricky and all that. Like we want to see that. But I think they'd get a lot of traction from golf nuts like us watching that show, watching the actual grind, like, an Alistair, Doherty, the Corn Ferry guys, something like that. I think it'd be pretty cool.
Totally. So back to sponsor exemption. Tiger, who's not playing. Ricky, will we see him this week? Does he wear full camo at the Genesis?
What if they just keep his scripting for the waste management? Like, dude, we spent a lot of money on this. We got to
You got
push it
sick.
out there, dude.
You're back in this.
Yeah. I'm interested to see like what the next couple of days were going to be, from the full camo. Like, how do you pivot from that?
He is in the field. Ricky.
He is.
Yeah, he
He's
is
one of those
currently
sponsor
set to play.
exemptions.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Then you got
And
Gary
I think
Woodland,
those.
Jordan Spieth, Minwoo Lee. Those are the sponsor exemptions for the Genesis.
Are you saying those aren't good sponsor exemptions?
No, I think they're great. They're big names. Like, I
Okay.
want to see every
Yeah.
one of those players do well.
Gary Woodland's been around a while. He's got a story, right, to tell. They'll probably mention it quite a bit on the broadcast if he makes the cut. There is a cut. Okay. There is a cut.
Are you sure about that?
It's a
I-
signature.
no, I just Googled it, okay? Anyways, I kind of I like Ricky, right? Like he's, he started off hot when he came on tour and then just fizzled out the last 5 years. I'm kind of not on board with that exemption. Now, if he would have finished the Waste Management, maybe top 20, top 10, like, yeah, throw him a bone. But he just hasn't played well. Jordan, injured. Makes kind of sense. He's a needle mover. And that's why Ricky got it, right? People still want to root for Ricky. Gary Woodland, nice story. Minwoo, crowd favorite. It's better than Webb Simpson, who hasn't done anything in like 12 years.
Totally.
Well,
I
I'll say
agree with
that.
Maybe like
And you are right,
4.
Cam. The 3-player hosted signature events, Genesis, Arnold Palmer, and Memorial, have a 36-hole cut.
It's like top 50, and if it expands
Highest
out, it's like within 10
shots.
shots.
Yep. Huh. Yeah.
I'm interested to see, because they've had maybe a month to prep for this. And I know Torrey Pines, like, they're used to hosting tournaments. Don't get me wrong, but what kind of setup are we going to get? Are they letting the rough grow out? Like, I would like the signature events to kind of have a more U.S. Open kind of setup to them, like make the course hard.
Yeah.
Because its signature is so much money at stake, so many points. Like, make it hard, because Torrey, it's not like it's the best. I don't want to say layout, but I mean, it's kind of just like the same hole over and over again sometimes.
They get some wind, though, man. I mean, that's what happened at the Farmers. They had those greens rolling, and on that Saturday, they had to have a 90-minute delay because the wind was just rolling the balls all over the place. And then the players just went off
Do it again.
following day. I mean, it's a
Burn it out. Ruin the golf course. Chambers Bay treatment.
Chambers Bay treatment. That's what we're going.
I wouldn't
All right.
say that, but like
Have it be so bad that they refuse to go back to Torrey Pines for years after this.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
all
We
right.
are at what? Year 10 now? Wasn't that 2015?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So shout out to Jordan Spieth. Dustin Johnson missing his putt. Jordan Spieth making it. Yeah. Anyways, I would like to see the signature events have another kind of aspect to it that's different than you're just a run of the mill. Like, yeah, they have shortened fields, they have more money, more points. Give me something else. And the way I see it, make the course extremely hard. Long rough,
All right.
tough greens. And yeah, you're right. They get the win. They get the natural kind of toughness. But when you have the best in the world at golf, it's kind of hard to make the game harder outside of like ruining their equipment.
Totally.
So you should
I mean,
you should use every option you have to make it difficult.
we were pretty off on our cuts before. So, Teddy, what are you picking for a cut for the Genesis Open at Torrey Pines? We got to remember it's new course.
Even.
And they're what on the south?
You're going even, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna go
South
even.
course.
All right. Well, I mean, if Teddy's going even, I think it's going to play easier this week because I don't think it doesn't look like there's any crazy wind. So I'll go 1 under. What are you going, Cam?
I said if Justin picks 1 over, I'm picking 1 under. If Justin picks 1 under, I'm picking 1 over. So I'm going +1.
All right.
I don't like it.
I
No,
don't like.
I'm going -2. 2 under.
Oh,
2 under par.
He changes.
Okay.
I also don't know historically what the cut lines have been at Torrey Pines.
+1.
Yeah, but they have a lot of
+1
majors.
Yeah, when
But they're also, I mean, it's middle of February versus that January timeframe. I think the winds aren't in the area at that time, so it'll be kind of interesting to see how that all plays out. All right,
So
Teddy.
I'm probably safe at even. Are we doing winner first or DFL?
Let's go DFL.
It's tough because like they're all like
this is a dramatic pause though. Tom Hogue. Old Hoagie boy.
Oh, all right. Gosh, I do not want to do this. I am so tempted to pick one of my favorite golfers just because he is on one hell of a horrible bender of golf right now. Like, I really enjoy watching Max Homa, but I think he's just going to get his ass kicked at Torrey again.
I like it.
Isn't it?
I already wrote it, so you can't change it.
All right. I'm taking Homa for DFL.
I feel like now is the time to make those risky, picks.
Yeah.
Wait, we're doing DFL.
Yes.
DFL.
Oh, that's a good pick. Okay, that's a good pick. All right. Should I go Michael Kim for my DFL?
No, because he might win this week if that's the case.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go. We're gonna go with a guy who plays golf.
Is he playing golf this week?
He's playing golf this week. I'm checking out the field here.
I'm interested.
I picked him last year for a DFL and he paid off. I'm going with Seamus Power.
Okay.
That was right there.
He's also towards the bottom when it comes to OWGR in the field. So
good pick. Smart pick. All right, winners. Everybody got somebody in mind?
I do.
Yep.
Sandberg. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna pick him. I'm actually, God, dude. Like, I want to pick Ludwig so bad, but he's burned us already twice. Just sucks.
But I will say he looked really good on that course the first 2 days.
I know. I felt really good. I'm gonna go. Screw it. I'm gonna go JT, dude. Give me JT.
I like it.
Yeah.
JT straight vibing.
He looked okay a couple weeks ago. Looked pretty good. And yeah, I mean, the last shot he hit, he drained it from 103 yards. So
valid.
He's gonna come
I
out.
think we call that dialed.
Yeah.
Man.
All right, Justin.
It's really interesting when you're like looking at some of the best players in the world
and thinking that they're gonna play like shit.
You got to pick like one of them.
You're like scrolling past Scotty and Rory and Colin. You're like, who sounds good is Keegan Bradley.
I mean, he likes the course. He played well at the Farmers.
They all probably like the course.
Yeah. Honestly, I think we're gonna see good play from Colin Morikawa. That's who I'm taking.
I'm going to pick a guy here. We've talked about him plenty on this podcast. I apologized to him earlier. He's my ride or die. I'm putting my unit on Michael Kim. Michael Kim.
That's the ultimate apology. Winner. That's the ultimate.
Michael, you need to. I'm going to go on another little pedestal here with Michael. Michael, I'm losing by 3 points to Teddy in our season-long points race of Pick'em. I need you. Michael. Please.
Cam, what's worse?
Just beat Colin Morikawa and beat whoever Teddy picked. I can't remember.
Justin Thomas.
Easy enough. Signed, sealed, delivered, Michael.
Yeah. We'll see.
Boys, is that it? Did we just run through our agenda?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh my goodness, dude! It only took an hour and 5 minutes.
Good
Well,
job, guys.
we don't have TGL this week to all talk about because
Yeah, next week it's
like 3 in a row on.
And we don't have Justin and I's Savannah trip to talk about because that didn't happen. So.
Yeah, sorry to the viewers. There's no golf content of Teddy and Justin golfing together because Justin missed this.
I didn't miss the flight. The flight got canceled.
Justin had some weather.
After you missed it, you canceled it.
I wish.
All right.
I still had to wake up at 3:00 in the morning and then try and find different flights there, and finally went back to bed at 5:30 after I was like, yeah, this isn't working. All right.
I had the day off work and I ended up not playing golf.
Can you imagine using an hour or a day of PTO to just get stood up? I couldn't imagine it. I would never do that. To
Cam,
somebody.
this is a better question. Could you imagine not playing golf on a day of PTO when you live in Florida when the weather's actually nice? I would give anything for warm
I'd
weather
agree.
right now.
Questionable decision, Teddy. Not playing
Teddy,
golf that day.
what are you doing, man?
I stayed up too late Thursday night because I was like, well, got the day off. It's not like I'm going to play golf. And it stayed up way too late. So
You couldn't sleep until 10 and then go to a golf course in sunny Florida somewhere?
No, because then at that point, it's like the day's over. It's 10 o'clock. Everybody else is probably trying to leave work.
Teddy knows by
play
9 a.m. whether if it's,
Yeah.
That's
If
fine.
I'm not playing golf
All right.
before 10 a.m., I'm not playing golf.
That's hilarious. I want to play golf so bad right now, and the only thing that I get to do is shovel snow in the driveway.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We got the day off on Monday. We might have some weather, like decent weather. I might make it out. I might. So, all right, let's wrap it up.
Digit cold. It is going to be freezing here.
We're wrapping it up. We appreciate you listening. In the comments, let us know what you think of Teddy not playing golf on a day off that he took off. Roast him a little bit. Let me know what you think of our Twitter interaction with Michael Kim. Did I drop the ball? Probably. But
was Michael Kim really upset and mad at Cam?
Yeah, was he?
You decide.
Put a poll?
You read the
Let's do a
tweet.
poll.
You decide.
Yeah. We'll put a link in the bio, as they say. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify, and hopefully Apple Podcast here on this. I'm going to spend some time tonight getting that figured out. So we appreciate you listening. We'll see you next episode.